Lydia Turpin is a little concerned that this live television thing might in fact induce labor. You are days away from your due date, first child, and you've been feeling how?
Anxious, just truly excited, really.
And there's been lots of excitement in this house because you've had a bit of a parade come through. You've had an interesting nursery project. That's why we're here today. Spring, we joked yesterday, is a time, you know, of new life. It's a time of changing things around the house. You guys have done it all. Yeah. Ann Lacroix was seconded to a mission. What happened?
Well, you know, Lydia went out with full force, confident she was going to pull her nursery together, and was overwhelmed. So her husband, Fern, called me up and said, please, can you come and help Lydia? So I put some ideas together and we worked on that, and she kind of had an idea, but in the back of what was my mind, that it was going to be a surprise. And I went to Fern, we locked the nursery, and it was unveiled only at the end. So she had little tidbits here and there, but she was great because her confidence was just take it and do it. And this is the result of what we have.
So you had complete faith.
Oh, I sure did.
You backed off.
Oh, yes.
You let the expert have her way with it.
I did, believe it or not. But,
I know, she was stressed so many times.
But you know, I had every confidence in Leanne, and ultimately she just achieved everything I wanted.
Well, so. We're going to show you what they achieved, but first I do have to talk about the parade. You almost had, you could have charged admission. You had so many relatives who were through. Yeah. People were crying.
Oh, it was very emotional for sure.
How did you react?
Oh, well, I was very overwhelmed, very overwhelmed. It's just like a piece of heaven when you walk in.
Well, let's walk in. Let's walk in because everyone's saying, "Show us the nursery." So you lead the way and tell us what it is that you have. I've already peeked, and I have to say, it is breathtakingly beautiful. It is so clean. I'm afraid to walk in here. It's almost as if there should be a little ribbon across.
Charge admission.
So tell us the vision. Tell us what you've done. It is so pretty.
Well, I think, you know, when you go into the world of nurseries right now, there are thousands of things that you can select from. Before it used to be yellow, pink, blue, and you kind of built on that. Well, now there's so many different things. That's why I said it's completely understandable that someone can be overwhelmed. But what we did is just went with something that was very subtle and warm and calming for Lydia and the baby. There's so many stimuluses out in the world that right here and right now we just wanted it be very special for the first baby.
Peaceful, ethereal,
calm, and
clean.
Now,
let's talk about the idea of having off-white furniture and an off-white rug in a baby's room.
Well, this is a nursery, so the baby will probably never see the floor. And we have other rooms that the children will hopefully go into, and this will just probably be the last baby's room.
Exactly.
But, you know, I think if you know the family and you know their conditions of keeping things in order, which is this family. But we had a very simple room, and we did a lot of the detailing with the crown molding, the wainscoting, you know, that really gives the room a lot of texture and architecture and just brought a lot of the softness.
So this room was a tabula rasa. It was blank slate. It was just none of the details were here. And it's interesting. I just noticed that the ceiling is blue.
Well, because of the I fell off a cloud and into your arms, I wanted a feeling of the sky falling in. And this is a quote that was off a little T-shirt that Lydia found. And so I surprised her with putting that on the wall because I think it's just says it all when you have your baby.
Let's talk about some of the basics. So, okay, when you saw the room, we know how you reacted. Let's talk about some of the basics. You have enough decisions to make right now. Yeah. So, what sorts of things can you help expectant parents with in terms of looking and shopping on an overall level?
Well, I think most of all you need a crib, and there's certain things you need a chest of drawers with a change table. You need your crib. You need a glider or a rocker. You know, you need you need a nice light section. You need an end table. We have this over here, but it will at one point move over to the chair so you have access to a little lamp. The other thing that I would really suggest is a smoke alarm. We haven't installed that yet, but a smoke alarm is really great besides your monitor. So, you know, everything else above that is like we have an armoire. Those are all extras. But if you're trying to duplicate something this luxurious, really just try to find a theme that you like maybe. If you have different colors of furniture, paint them all out the same color. So then again, you're starting to get something that's cohesive. And really just start to add little elements that you find that might match the room. And you know what? you're on a good start, really.
Well, this has an absolutely magical feel. I have never seen a nursery like it. Have you ever seen a nursery like it?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Did you ever imagined a nursery like it?
It's more than I imagined, actually. It's just beautiful.
Well,
really.
When we come back, Leanna's going to show some special features and offer some special tips as well. How are you feeling?
Great, great. I'm okay.
We'll be in the crib.
Well, I've been having a little bit of fun teasing Ann Lacroix because you were able to get a lot out of your system in decorating this nursery for someone else. So it saved you a lot of work.
Totally cathartic. It's like I can have the baby without the labor. So
because you've already done that.
I've done it. Yes.
Now, for those of you who might be a little bit concerned, and rightly so, about child safety issues, we have a few things that we wanted to explain that are purely aesthetic and only for now.
The netting will be removed as soon as the baby has any movement. This is just all for, you know, the prettiness of the crib, but it's totally can be removed from the wall, and they're very, you know, aware of that as far as the crib also is, we were talking about ideas that parents can take on. A crib against a wall is a really great idea because it takes away the fact of it being in front of a window where you can have blinds, curtains, ropes, things like that. You just don't want to have near a crib where a baby can start, you know, pulling themselves up and starting to play with those things.
Absolutely.
You know, so those are things to really keep in mind. And also a change table by the door. If you're thinking, why is it there? It's always a lot easier to pop in, have something really close, do the change in, and you're out again. So
we're going to discuss what's on the change table in just a moment.
And this I want to talk about just for 1 second, Leanne, little armoire. It's so precious because in here you might think, well, why would the purpose even be here? It's set up that we can put all the electronical equipment in it once we have, you know, a little CD player or a little television, besides the fact we have sweet little things. But you can use this, and it is totally functional with the unit has the holes in the back. So that's a really great piece to have. And you can also do that in your closet if you want. You spend so much time.
These are such pretty pieces. I mean, but you've also suggested, and you suggested earlier, if you have other older pieces of furniture, you can give them new life by painting.
And that is the amazing thing because it will look really nice.
And you've given this a life because this was not actually a lamp. You turned this into a lamp.
You know, like I always say, Lan, if you can't find what you want, then try to make it. And this is the perfect example. I found a really great piece. It was very lucky. It was Easter. So I found this piece and I worked diligently with someone at one of the decorating stores to make it into a lamp.
So they drilled through the bottom of it, then you wired it, found the shade, found all of the electrical stuff.
And it's all pre-assembled wiring, so again, it's not something that I just sort of wired together.
Good, because you're scaring people.
Exactly. No, this was all done properly and legally. You know.
Now, you over on the change table, unless there was something else you wanted to point out over here. I know that you wanted to emphasize organization because that's the way to survive.
Exactly, and that's one of the things that you'll notice in this room and in the closets, in the drawers. Everything has its place, and that is really helpful when you do have a baby and you don't have a lot of time. If they're upset, you know, you don't want to be fussing around for things.
And trying to find things.
Yes, and if you can't do this, if you don't have the space for that, a nice little shelf above the change table can facilitate everything.
Is that safe?
Oh yeah, I mean, you have to bolt it into the wall and make sure you know, it's put in there properly, but if you have someone that's good at that, you can do
these
that.
are just here to show different ideas of organization. Well, you have baskets, a whole series of
you know,
stacking baskets.
And that is the thing, is that when you have baskets, make it an investment, because this is going to be moved around, knocked around, used, and it will grow with the child. Like this, these pieces are so sweet. It's the faux suede, but as a nursery, it really works if you know you're having a girl. And then as she gets a little bit older, you can, you know, these are great. They have all kinds of old-fashioned little pieces inside. Then you can add, there's toys that you can add, teddy bears, blankets, and when you are able then to go into your closet or underneath a dresser, all these things have their place, and then you're not walking into the room finding a mess. The baby or the little girl, the little children can find their place.
Leanna's a Virgo, and she looks at me very seriously. Everything can have its place, and I'm looking at her thinking, really, everything can have its place. That's such a novel concept. But just behind you, these look like boxes that you've actually made.
Well, again, if you can't find it and you don't want to do the expense, but you do have, this is just felt, and we've done these projects before. They're just felt covered boxes, and again, that can hide all kinds of toys or little, you know, little game pieces,
or sentimental cards and things.
For sure, and they can go into closets, and it starts your theme, you know?
This is the prettiest and the tidiest and the cleanest nursery. I feel like we're not even supposed to actually actually be in here, but very soon, within a matter of weeks, the Turpin family will be. We wish them the best of luck. Lydia, who's up in the hall, we wish her the best of luck with her baby and enjoying countless of hours rocking in this chair. You've done a beautiful job. And you dressed to match the nursery.
I did, and that wasn't on purpose.
Sure it wasn't.
I'm a Virgo.